Hello, good morning. Welcome to my writing hut. Um, on YouTube, I do these little 1 minute chats. Today, I'm going to do a longer chat to consolidate some of what I've been talking about. And today, I wanted to talk about how I write a book. And I don't mean just click, click, click. I mean the actual step-by-step process of how it actually looks like as I go through creating a book. So, number one, ideas. Well, I don't have any issue with ideas. I have so many story premises waiting for me to create them into reality. So, I have an awful lot of them. I suppose my problem is how to choose, and I do that by sort of listening. And I generally have a character, quite clear character, before I start writing a story. So, the character that shouts the loudest story I fancy writing, that's the one I choose. So once it's chosen, I then dedicate some time to fast draft. I fast draft my first draft. I have an idea of my character's aims and goals. I have an idea of my character's flaws. I have some inkling of the ending. And that's about it, really. I have the premise for the story. I know the issue below the story, generally, although sometimes that comes when I'm first drafting. And I first draft very fast. I don't make chapters. I don't do everything in order. I come and I sit down and I think, oh, that's a scene I really want to write today. A scene that's come into my head when I've been walking or cooking or just sitting down looking at the fire while I've been perhaps waking up first thing in the morning or when I'm going to bed at night. I have an idea for a scene and it feels really real and I can see it, so I want to express it straight away. And when I write things and I know it's definitely out of order, I change the colour of my text so that it's very easy to see afterwards when I do my first rewrite. So I can write a first draft in about 6 weeks, 2 months, if I have just dedicated time every day. So when I've written the first draft, I then put it away. I just put it aside and I don't look at it. I get on with something else, some other writing project. And then, even though it's a real mess, I will put it onto my Kindle and I will read it on there and I take notes. I know I'm reading it out of order. I know it's a mess. I know sometimes sentences are 3 lines long. Oh, I mean, sometimes a word is almost 3 lines long because they all merge together. I know that there are problems with names. Sometimes I just put the word name in, but it just gives me the overall feeling of the story. So I then rewrite. I do the first rewrite. And after the first rewrite, I put it back on my Kindle and I read it again and take notes. Then I have a rest from it. Then I rewrite it. And this time after the rewrite, I use Lulu mostly, a printing company, and I just get a printed copy of the book, which for the second book in the series looks like that. And I go through with a red pen. Okay, so sometimes it's not an actual red pen, but I go through with colour pens so it shows up, and that gives me a sort of an idea of what needs tightening up. So I then rewrite. And then I do a line edit. So I look at every line. By this time, I'm getting pretty bored of the story, which is actually a good thing. Because I don't get caught up in it, I can look at it more critically, I suppose. And after I've done that line edit, I put it away. I do one more read through while I find a developmental editor. Or find an editor. And I asked the editor to do a developmental edit because this encompasses everything, and I always learn so much from developmental edits. And then guess what? It's rewrite time again. So I rewrite, taking on board probably 85 to 90% of the suggestions from the editor. And yeah, that usually works about right. I don't take everything because it's my story. And then it gets sent to the editor for a proofread. And no, this is not the end. When it comes back, the changes that need doing after the proofread are done. And then I have to format it, make sure it's formatted for whichever platform I'm using. Obviously, the formatting for an ebook is different to the formatting for a paperback. And I use Draft to Digital for my ebooks. But I'm thinking of trying Books By for my printed ones now because, yes, I know Draft to Digital do print books now, but I don't know. Books By will be good for another book in the pipeline, which is going to have lots of photographs in it. So yeah, I may try it for these. Difficult decisions. So once it's been formatted, once I've chosen who I'm going to go through, formatted it for their specifications. I do have to have a cover now for the three. This series I'm doing at the moment, I have the three covers already made. I'll make them in book brush. Sometimes I have an artist. Colours of Rain had an artist, but generally I am creating them myself after having looked at various videos, taken on lots of advice. I spend a lot of time looking at covers of this genre that are bestsellers on Amazon and compare and try and pick out what it is that they have on the cover that really shows what the book is about inside. So really the book cover is another process in itself with many revisions. But when that is finally done, when it's all finally formatted and ready, I then hit the publish button and start selling and move on to the next book.